Okay, welcome everybody. On this episode, really cool person, Christian Rios, is into real estate from the uh, buying and selling residential, commercial, all that, but also on the investing side. Now, what stood out to me the most is the element of community because I'm, from Samoa, village, all that stuff, church, right? Community is huge to me and my family. But what I saw from what Christian is doing in his business is very different and unique. It's not like the Keller Williams or all the other brokerages. It's something very different. So that's why I wanted to pick his brain and have him kind of highlight what that looks like, because I think there's something to be said about camaraderie and not just team building, but literally people doing life together at a business level, but then even for these guys at a whole another level with the wealth building level. So
Right.
very unique, very interesting. As I saw your cool, personal marketing too. That's what caught my attention is I like some of the ad or the post that you put out. It's pretty funny. It's catchy. The hook is like, oh, the hook got me.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
love it. I
that's why I
love it.
wanted to reach out because you guys do things at a whole different level that I think more people should be aware of. So,
Sure.
with that being said, I usually start the podcast with a curveball. It's a question,
Okay. Okay.
okay? And then we'll just kind of launch from there. The question is, if you were to take and look back at the last 6 to 12 months of your life, and you were to turn that into a Netflix special, what would that movie or series be called and why?
Mm, that's a great question. And what came to me right now is the title of the movie or the clip, the trailer would just be present. Okay.
Ooh.
It would
Ooh.
be present. And every year, this is something when you talk about community, when you talk about, the team, every year we do a workshop where we choose one word that is associated with how you want to show up for the following year or what God is placing in your heart, whatever the case may be. So for me, I knew last year in particular, I was all over the place. I was trying to do everything and be the yes man to everyone. And what kept coming into my heart and into me, just internally was present. And
Mm.
if I can go back to this year, I 1000% have been living that out. And it's just been the biggest blessing. I have a successful business in regards to real estate, in regards to the investing side. But what's really important for me is being a family man, is being
Mm.
a good husband, a good dad to my kids, and I can't do that if I'm not fully present. If I'm always just focused on work, if I'm always focused on X, Y, and Z. So long-winded answer, but the title would be present, and then it would be actually looking back and having the right systems in place, having the right people in place so you can truly be present.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So, more formally, let these people know the name of the business, what you guys specifically do, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. So the name of our actual real estate investment club, because that's what primarily we focus on, is New Wealth Advisors. Okay. So our club is New Wealth Advisors, but there's layers to it. So in regards to, the investing side, we do a lot of fix and flips, wholesales, buying rental properties, doing the creative. Right now, we're buying properties and turning them into triplexes. So, kind of again, creative strategies. And then on the brokerage side of it, we
Mm.
felt really aligned with EXP Realty. So, EXP Realty is a way for us to have that community, have agents come under us in a sense, where we still have the mentorship aspect that we give them, but we're protected with a bigger brokerage as well. So on the investment side, it's New Wealth Advisors Club. Where we have our real estate brokerage, it's EXP Realty.
Nice, nice. So, how do you manage the personal values in being a father, husband, all those things, with making it excel and align with your professional values?
Hmm. So say that one more time. Say that one more time because I want to make sure I answer it correctly.
Yeah. How do you align your personal values with your professional values?
Yeah. So I think they go hand in hand. You
Hmm.
know, my personal values and my professional values, they really go hand in hand. When I look at how I want to show up to my clients, it's really clients or whoever, a new agent that I'm mentoring or a new person that wants to learn how to invest in real estate. I want to be there for them, right? I want them to know that I'm always available for
Hmm.
them to reach out, right? So that's how I see myself on the personal side, with my family as well. I always want to be there, and again, I'm going to use the word present. I always want to be present. And then how do I kind of balance them both? I always go back to my calendar, right? And I'm sure you're the same way. That's
Hmm.
what everyone that is successful, you have to
Hmm.
have a good grasp on your calendar. So I don't know who said it, but 10 plus years ago, I've always, kind of just into my core, put it with me that your calendar is your boss. Bottom line, your calendar is your boss. If something's on my calendar, it's literally, it's a non-negotiable. It's happening.
Wow, that's good. And for the community aspect of what you guys do at the real estate club,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, that is where I think the uniqueness lies, right? So in some of the things, because I saw in some of your photos, like you guys did the Dodgers game,
Yeah.
yeah, but it seems like it goes deeper than that, right? There's building inside, not like team building, but actual living together and doing life together, being there for one another, and all that. Yeah, describe how that works, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good question. So, 100%. We just have a strong saying. If you close a deal with somebody and you don't want to have dinner with them, you shouldn't have never been in that deal in the first place,
Ooh.
right? Community is so strong and is so powerful, and you want to be around people that you want to be around, bottom line. So, this Saturday, for example, there is going to be a beach day that the whole club is doing in Huntington Beach, and just the ability to again live life together, but also today, like during the week, there's a Zoom call that's going on right now, from investors and agents nationwide. So everyone is always plugged in, even if it's virtual versus in person too. There's always going to be a way for us to to collaborate and to have that community within. On the actual business side of things too, like how we kind of mirror it together is, there are coaches that have more experience, that have done a lot of deals, that have done a lot of fix and flips and X, Y, and Z. We do every Thursday, there's a door knocking day. So we're looking to help homeowners that have a distressed situation going on. So notice of default, right? People that are behind on their payments, notice of trustee sale, people that are about to lose their property. So we get, I'll say, kind of newbies that need to have that hand holding, support to go to these doors with coaches. So on Thursdays, meet up together, usually, at a cool lunch spot, hang out, have that vibe, and then go out, work, and then come back and, reevaluate how things are going. So again, it really comes down to doing business with people you like, trust, respect, and want to hang out with.
How often do you guys have like meetings or events or get-togethers? It seems like there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I can't even, honestly, man. I can't even keep track.
Wow.
But like, at least in person, it's going to be twice a month where there's something going on for the whole kind of community to get together, right? And then the business side of it, like every Thursday, door knocking and so forth. Zoom, it's going to be a couple times a week that we're getting together
Oh,
via
wow.
Zoom. Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
it's a lot, man. Yeah, there's definitely quite a bit.
Where did the model come from? Like, how did
Oh,
you guys establish this?
that's a good question. So my who I consider my mentor, Melina Boswell, and her husband Dave, they started this real estate investment club back in 2008. Okay,
Hmm.
so it was an office in Riverside, and bottom line, if we go even back a little bit, they were going to a bunch of these like seminars, a bunch of, the big gurus that are on TV,
Hmm.
and they were spending money. They were swiping credit cards to get into their mentorship program. And what they found is, dude, like, we can keep on spending money, but no one's really giving us like that secret sauce in a sense. This business really is about a team and is about people. So they came across somebody by the name of Greg. Greg was actually doing transactions, and Greg is like, "Hey, I'm doing this. Do you want me to show you what I'm actually doing, and I can help you guys out?" They said, "Oh my gosh, yes." So they came across a property, they brought it to Greg, they partnered up on that property with Greg, and that's how they closed their first transaction on the investment side. For them, it was like light bulb, holy crap, it's not really about spending a crap ton of money on education, it's about people. So that's where the business model really came from. When everyone was getting out of real estate in 2008, like, real estate was a bad word when the market crashed, right? They're like, hey, we're going to build a real estate club and a real estate community. People thought they were nuts. And here they are opening up an office, people starting to join and they're like, hey, we can help you close real estate transactions. And that's what was happening. Hey, Dave, hey, Melina, I came across this property. What the heck do I do? Oh, here's this contract. Here's this escrow company. Here's this termite company. Here's this home inspector.
Hmm.
And that's how we built the community versus you getting a course online, going to a seminar, trying to figure it out on your own. But let's do it with actual people.
Yeah, the thing that intrigues me the most is, um, it feels and sounds eerily similar to the church.
Mm,
Is you meet often, that's where you do the Bible studies, but then you get together, like we just had a beach day a
yeah,
few weeks ago, with the church, and the people do life together, you know,
right,
and then some people do business together in the church, and then others they just do soccer or whatever. But
sure.
is there an element of spirituality involved too? Because it feels like that.
Yeah, yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. So we like to say, we are an organization that's run by Christians. We're not a Christian organization, but we definitely pray before our meetings. So I always like to throw a joke. We pray for the right people to show up. We pray for the wrong people not to show up. Right? We
Yeah.
want that security and that hedge of protection.
Mm.
But 1,000%, we know that our team and everything, even me personally, it's not in my hands. It's definitely in the Lord's hands. So yeah, there's a Bible. This year I didn't participate in it, and I shouldn't say that out loud, but they did a 1 year Bible, like from
Oh
cover to
yeah.
cover. So they're doing like cover to cover reading the Bible, and there's a small group that chose to participate in that. But yeah, no, there 1,000%. There is that spiritual side to the club, and that's where we kind of find our anchor for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's where you got okay. So that because when I'm watching your videos and then I see the pictures, there's just a sense of wholesome connection, deeper connection, and I think that probably is the reason why you guys are doing well, but also stands out.
Mm,
Because I see a ton of real estate agents, on my page and all that stuff
sure.
to scroll, because marketing, right? So I see it, I
Right.
see you book, and then I was like, oh, this is funny, man, this is cool. But as I looked more, it just sensed like, oh, there could be something, but lo and behold, there is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's a good catch. We
Yeah,
try to, yeah. That's funny.
yeah. Now, you in particular, how long have you been with the club? And then
Mm,
is the club nationwide? Because it sounds like with all the Zooms, the club might be
yeah.
nationwide.
Yeah, recently a couple years ago we shifted to nationwide. So we have actual offices in here in Southern California, so it's in Irvine. We have an office in Seattle, we have an office in Tampa, and then in Hawaii as well.
Hmm.
Okay, but we are expanding just real nationwide. I have a pretty cool story. I have a unique story. I started with a club when I was 17 years old. Okay,
Whoa.
so if you go back to when the market crashed, I was in high school at the time, and I grew up in a normal family. My parents went to work, came home, we had dinner, but we didn't talk about money. We didn't talk about credit. We didn't talk about buying real estate. Nothing like that, right? So when the market crashed, I saw my parents had a house that was worth 600,000 one day, and then overnight it's worth 300,000, right? I think we all remember what happened when the market crashed. So I was young. I was in high school. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what? How can I help? What can I do?
Hmm.
Um, I stumbled across the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
I literally read that book, I want to say in a day. I thought it was like the Bible. I was like, this is amazing. And I decided at that point I wanted to get into real estate. So I met Dave and Melina when I was 17 years old. Melina was like, hey, you are not even allowed to sign a contract. If you really want to do this, you need to go home, get your mom, bring her, and she can sign the contract for you to join. I did that. Went home, told my mom all about it. I said, I want to go into real estate. I don't want to go to college. This is what I want to do. Came with my mom, and they're like, wow, this kid's actually serious. So started when I was 17. Took a little while to get up and running, but by the time I was 20, that's the first year I made six figures, in real estate. So I made 100 and some change, and I was 20 years old. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. When can I retire? Uh, right? But then I was like, holy crap, I don't even own a house yet. We live in California. It's super expensive. So fast forward, I've been blessed to be with the club for what is it, like 15 or so years now. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm 31 and got started with them when I was 17.
Now, did you start on the investing side and the as an agent, or?
Yeah, so I started first on the investment side, started with a club on the investment side, and then I was ready to buy my house. I want to say when I was 21, and I was looking for a very specific area. And super naive way of thinking, I was like, hey, I know what these agents do, and I can do it myself. I'm going to save 15 grand in commissions. So I got my license. It's a funny story. Even with that, I ended up buying a for sale by owner. So
Mm,
I didn't need to have a license. I got a pretty good deal on my first property. I bought it as a for sale by owner, and now having my license, it just opens up more opportunities. It's another tool in my tool belt, and that's always how I like to tell investors, tell potential agents too. Hey, if you want to be an agent, it's bottom line another tool in your tool belt. But there's other investors that are like, hey, I definitely don't want to have my license. Cool,
mm.
nothing wrong with that. But for me, I definitely see it as another tool in my tool belt, and I love the traditional retail side of the business as well.
Yeah, for someone that's curious about real estate, which direction would you encourage them to start off as?
Yeah, I would want to ask them. Yeah, I'd have to get to know them a little bit more. But if you're like, hey, I really want to buy rental properties, I really want to flip, then I'm going to say, okay, you need to put your investor hat on
Mm,
and maybe focus more on that side of it. And maybe if you are interested in being a realtor, because it's again a completely different business. As a
mm,
realtor, you are getting hired to do a service. Your employer is that client. So when you're an investor, you're in a little bit more control. You can choose what to do with this project, what to do with this property. But again, representing a client, you are representing them in a sense. So I would say, what do you want to do? And I personally, I love working with clients. I like to be responsive. I like to get back to people ASAP. I like to provide that professional
Mm,
experience for them too. So it depends. You know, what do you kind of want to fall into?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I know we touched on it a little bit, but is there any, maybe even some examples of going deeper in the community aspect of the club? Um, do you guys have meetings?
Yeah, something that I want to share right now with everything going on with the deportations and
Uh,
everything that's happening. We actually have one club member that she voluntarily she's choosing to basically I don't even know the right wording, but turn herself in a sense, right? To
hmm,
get deported, right? She knows that there's a lot going on, and something that the group chat is going off right now. We're contributing money for her. She's going to be moving back to Mexico. We're contributing money for her to to go back to Mexico, and going to do a little get together with her. So if that isn't community, I don't know what is. It's so much more than real estate. It's just about life, and it's about people at their core. And it's crazy, the situation that's going on, right now. But that's an example of like going down, down, down to like the community that we have within the club.
yeah. So it started here in California.
Yep.
Yeah. And then how did all the other states end up like
Yeah.
getting?
Yeah, so people have just risen up. People have risen up, and it goes back to leadership. I think whatever office we're opening, it comes down to who is in that location and do they want to lead a team of people. Similar, I don't know the whole model of churches, but I'm sure it's similar, right? If a pastor wants to lead, that's how they step up. So in Hawaii specifically, we have two like an awesome couple, Joel and Marianne Bonko. They very, very, very successful entrepreneurs, very, very successful real estate investors. They decided to start the Oahu Honolulu location right there. In Seattle, someone I consider a mentor, a great friend, Keikoa Lewin. He actually used to be a pastor.
Mm,
Really, really cool dude. We have an office in Bellevue, Seattle, because he was like, "Hey, I really want to open up an office out here. I want to grow the Seattle market." So it really comes down to the right leadership, but also going through the system,
yep.
right? So
Yep.
going through, joining the club, putting a little bit of that sweat equity in, showing up. Not anyone could just raise their hand and say, "Hey, oh, cool! Like that seems like an awesome model. Like let me open up, I don't know, Nashville." No, you have to. We have to vet you. We have to make sure that it's a good fit, 100%.
So because of that, I imagine accountability is huge and tracking of people and making sure, like you said, vetting.
Yeah,
Um, what does the accountability look like?
yeah. So it's a lot of internal accountability, because the coaches, the business model is very simple. Let's say, Rob, you decide to join us, and you're like, "Hey, you know what? I need help with a real estate transaction, and I'm really cool with Christian, who's one of the coaches. Cool, that's me and you that do that deal together. I don't get compensated from the club in regards to coach, in regards to X, Y, and Z. I have a vested interest in your success, because if me and you do a deal together, we can potentially make money together, right? So it makes sense for people to be on the Zoom calls, for people to go out door knocking, for people to put in that sweat equity, because it's just a way to do deals together. It's a really smart level of accountability where, hey, if you show up, you're going to get deals, and you're going to do, you're going to work. If you don't show up, guess what? You're probably not going to be successful, just like if you weren't to show up in any other business.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess it's synonymous to discipleship, where you have the person that's helping you kind of move along, and then you meet frequently. And wow,
Yeah.
yeah, I knew there was something different about this.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Who are the typical types of people that join? Are they already successful people, or are they people that are just getting started in life, like high school,
Sure.
right? Yeah, what's the typical
Yeah.
makeup?
Yeah, I love it. So I would say those two avatars for sure. There's going to be the individuals that were like myself that want to get into real estate and have absolutely no idea, don't know what escrow is, don't know what title
Mhm.
is, don't know what hard money is. That's how I joined. And then there are a lot of successful W-2 type of individuals that join us, right? So we have a lot of like software engineers,
Oh,
doctors, people that have, I'll say, kind of tied down to their jobs, make really, really good income, but they need to learn how to invest in real estate long term, rental properties. And one of the things that we try to get people to do is qualify as a real estate professional, right? Real estate professional status, because that's how you're able to get really good tax write offs and get rid of your W 2 income with real estate income and save on taxes as well. So I would say it's both. It's definitely going to be successful W-2 individuals that want to get out of that and want to build a real estate portfolio and retirement. And then it's going to be the individuals that, hey, I know real estate works and I need to join a club and need to join people that are actually doing this business.
yeah, yeah. How do people find you guys? Like, how did yeah, all those people that are in like the other states, how did they get started and find you guys?
Yeah, good question. So a lot of it comes down to obviously networking, but in this day and age, Facebook ads are huge, Instagram ads are huge. You can find us just on New Wealth Advisors Club, right? So that's where we are. But yeah, a lot of it's going to be marketing, and then it's word of mouth too. I think that's what's cool is once we start kind of planting a location, then the word starts kind of getting out. Hey, there's this, real estate investment club and X, Y, and Z. So it's really word of mouth. But then on the marketing side, the marketing team, they do what they do for sure.
Do you guys do any networking events? Like, do you host your own networking events?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Nice. I'm assuming in the Irvine area, but do you go further out?
So we like to stay in our actual office there in Irvine, but those actual locations that I talked about, we call them City Connects. Okay.
Hmm.
So the next week, there's going to be a City Connect in Hawaii, right? In
Yeah,
Oahu. So for our internal club members, we obviously share, hey, there's this date, City Connect, get together. But we also like to, let them know, hey, invite a friend, invite somebody that wants to come and hang out and learn about this topic about you know buying your first rental property or whatever the case may be.
yeah. Now, if you were to leave one message for people that are curious,
Hmm.
regardless of where they're at in their career, someone that's curious, what would you say to them to kind of get them over the fence of like, out of curiosity into, I actually want to
Question.
figure this out with, yeah, with these guys.
Sure. Sure. No, I love that question. So I'm gonna say one of my favorite quotes, and I'm sure you've heard it so many times, but it's show me your friends and I'll show your future. Right? Show me
Huh.
your friends and I'll show you your future. So if you want to be a successful real estate investor, if you want to get into real estate, guess what? Some of your best friends have to be in the business, have to do what you want to do. So you can't go and talk to your cousin that knows nothing about real estate, that hasn't purchased a property. You need to hang out with people that are actually doing this business. And that's a conversation I have even with my kids, with my son. If you want to be a really good baseball player, you're gonna be hanging out with other baseball players, right? And that's kind of just how life works. So I'm that's gonna be my 2 cents is reach out. Don't let curiosity kind of just stay in your head. If you want to be in real estate, you have to get around people that are actually doing this business.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So if people wanted to reach out to you, how could they find you?
Yeah, so I can get you in touch with obviously our club on Instagram. My name is Christian Rios, period, real estate. Okay, pretty easy to find. Christian Rios, period, real estate. If you want to go directly to the club and see some of the reels and some of the education, it's New Wealth Advisors Club on Instagram. And then if you want to email me directly, Christian at newwealthadvisorsclub.com.
Nice, nice, nice. And you're in Irvine, or
I am in Temecula. Yeah, so I'm just a little bit. I'm a little south.
yeah, okay, so not too far. Yeah, not
Yeah,
too. Great, man. I appreciate your time. This has been uh, definitely eye opening. Now I know why things are different because you guys
yeah,
are God fearing, Bible believing Christians that happen to run real estate investing businesses and attract those types of people. So this is cool, man. I appreciate you
yeah.
and your time.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you having me out, Rob. Really, really do. I had a great time here.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks.
All right, take care.